let's reflect on 2024 and set our intentions for 2025. Or just have a nap. Hey folks, it's Finn. Welcome back, lovely people. Thank you so much for choosing to spend time with me today. And if you're watching for the very first time, then a massive welcome and a massive Happy New Year to everyone. Yes, I know it is the 20th of January, but those that know me know to just embrace the fact that here on this channel, in my life, we do things a little bit slowly and a little bit different time zone to everyone else, and that's okay. And that's also kind of going to be the theme of today. So I hope that everyone had as peaceful a holiday season as possible. I know there's a lot going on in this world. It's really difficult at the moment, so I hope that everyone is as okay as you can be, that you're all looking after yourself and you're all settling into the new year as best and as gently as you can. So today, I want to talk about two things, really. I want to have a little bit of a reflection on last year, on 2024. And I also want to talk about my intentions for 2025. And I always say intentions. I never say New Year's resolutions. I never talk about goals, really. That's for a number of reasons. Those who've followed along for a long time know that I like to do things very differently, much more gently, which I think is very important when you have chronic fatigue, any long-term health conditions, mental health conditions. I think it's especially important. And if you want to know why, I've made numerous videos about this topic, and I will link you above as to why making intentions is much better for you than setting resolutions and hard goals. So yeah, I'll link you to that. So yes, let's get to reflecting on last year and the intentions I set for last year. So last year I had really reached breaking point, I suppose, in a lot of ways, with trying to balance my chronic illness with what I desired in life. I'd been really, I love the work I do with my LGBT outreach work, my speaking work, my vlogging, my blogging, my writing, all of those things. And I was trying desperately to maintain my work while still looking after myself and my illness, whilst also trying to keep my sense of self and my life going. And I was losing my sense of self and who I was, because my independence was going, and a lot of it's gone, because I was relying more and more on my partner Chris to do things for me. I really was losing my sense of self as my illness was just getting worse and worse, and I was losing my mobility, and I couldn't do the things I'd used to do. And I was just, I just really didn't know who I was outside of work, but I didn't want to lose work. And I was just in a mess, trying to grab on to whatever bits of work I could keep and grab on to whatever bits of me I could keep. But I was just finding this awful situation of whenever I was doing any work, I was having to rest for days beforehand, then I was crashing for days afterwards, and having absolutely no time left for any leisure time. And so I was just not going out. I'd go out with Chris at the weekend, but then I'd be exhausted. Me and Chris would go on holiday and I'd be exhausted, and it was just not manageable. No matter how much I was simplifying my work, it wasn't enough. And thank goodness, really, in January of 2024, it was over the Christmas period while we were away, I just had that final epiphany that I went, this is enough. I can't do this anymore. There's, my ME CFS combined with my POTS makes me moderate to severe. More because my POTS is unable to be medicated, makes it much more difficult. So I go for between moderate and severe with my ME. And so it's just not manageable. So I went, right, this is enough. I need to stop. Anything that's really high stress or deadlined, I can't do. I've got to stop. And I made the decision there and then to just do blogging and vlogging when I had the energy, and say no to any more speaking work, any deadlined work, just step away. And I was really scared about what that would mean for me in terms of who I'd be without that work. I'd spent ages building up this reputation for, and got a really good reputation, and was really proud of myself. You know, who was I going to be outside of that? How was I going to deal with letting go of that? But I knew that it was really important to instead use that energy to get out of the house. Even if it was once every fortnight, just to walk this one, to get on a bus and go and have a coffee, to get to some support groups, even once a month to a mental health support group, just to find a little bit of independence for myself again, to find out who I was now, now that I'm this disabled person. Who am I now within these new limits, And that's what I set out to do. And my word, I'm so proud of myself for this last year. It's been such a journey this last year. I've gone to quite a few different groups. I've trialled a few different groups this year. A men's mental health group, a pain group. I've walked him far more on my own. I've got on buses on my own, which is highly anxiety provoking for me, with my wheelchair as well. Of course, it's not a lot, because obviously managing ME, getting out on my own is difficult. Getting out with Chris is easier because he can be my eyes and ears, and he takes off a lot of the huge energy stuff because he can do that stuff for me. On my own, it's much more difficult. But it's given me that sense of independence, of pride, of like being my own person again. And it's been great. It's just been so good. Really, really has. And yes, I haven't missed the work as much because I've had so much more energy. I haven't crashed as much. But there has been some grieving around it, especially when I've seen some of my colleagues doing speaking work. That it's brought up some feelings of envy, I suppose, if I'm honest. And feeling if I wasn't ill, that I could be progressing and doing more. Some of those kind of feelings. And I shared a couple of weeks back about, that feeling of success and how it's hard to look back. And like once I was successful and now I'm not, that kind of feeling. But realising that I am still successful, but this is just a different stage of my life. That I was outwardly successful in those kind of ways, getting a degree, doing speaking, all of that. This is just a different time in my life right now. And I can still look at that with pride. That was just one time in my life. And, I'm at the point now where I'm okay about it because I've gained so much from stepping back like that this year. I'm actually okay, and the grieving hasn't been as bad as I kind of thought it might be. Now, I was talking about this with my counsellor, how, this has been so affirming this last year that I really want to continue this year, especially now that we've moved and it's so much easier for me to get out and about. Everything's so much closer on my doorstep, so I'm spending less energy. And we were talking about how I'm on a much more inward journey, and she'd introduced me to this idea of wintering. If you haven't watched my recent vlog on wintering, then just to briefly kind of synopsisize it, it's basically about the concept of not the kind of season of wintering, but like my own personal season of wintering. It's a concept by Catherine May, who wrote the book Wintering, and it's where you kind of embrace a quieter season in life, where you're kind of reflecting on where you are. And this is very much what it is for me, where I'm kind of taking stock of who I am now within my new limits imposed on me by my chronic illness, and who I am where I am, what I'm doing, and also preparing for what's to come, because lots of things are changing for me. So this is very much what's my focus and very much my heading for 2025 and what I'm all about this year. So that's what I really want to embrace going forward for 2025. You know, I've had my season of being very outward, saying yes to everything and doing all the things, you know, but now it's like the season of going within and very much saying no and just listening to my body and my mind and what it needs at any given moment. Now, although I am embracing this season of wintering, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop making videos. It means that, like it's been this last year, it'll just be a very relaxed schedule. You know, I really, really enjoy sharing all of my process with you. You know, I've been sharing now for, goodness, how many years has it been? I don't know, 11, 12 years. And I've shared in all manner of different ways over the years. And I really enjoy that. I love sharing. I love connecting with everyone. I love your comments. I love the wise comments you make that make me think in turn. And then I make more videos about the ways you've made me think. And I grow from your comments. And I love that process. I love our community. I love the Finn fam. I love, you know, the Friends of Finn community that have grown out of it. I'm just so appreciative of that. So I really want to share, and I will continue to share. But it will very much be as it's been this last year. I have very low energy, and I'm very much committed to just listening to my mind and body what it needs. So it won't have a schedule, it will be sporadic, but I can promise you it will always be authentic, and that is the one thing I can guarantee. It will also always be this very relaxed style. I mean, I said this, it must have been a year and a half ago, when I decided the only way to keep making videos was to scrap the very kind of scripted, informative, kind of educational ones I'd started doing with the lighting and the sound very much improved as I'd kind of progressed through making videos, and then I stripped it all back again so that I could make them. And I'm continuing with that style because I haven't got the energy to edit and make them all flashy. So it will be this very stripped back, me just sharing my thoughts as they come up. So it's going to be this vloggy style, I've had a thought, I want to share it with you lovely people kind of way. So it will be sporadic, non-edited, authentic me. And if you're here for that, fantastic. I do want to be honest though, even though I've stepped back from work and the way I'm sharing is very much more about kind of connecting and sharing with you lovely people, I do still need to make money, and I'm really, really grateful for the ways that everyone supports me, whether that's people who give me donations on Ko-fi, join memberships on Ko-fi, memberships on YouTube, whether people buy my books and resources on my Ko-fi shop, whether you share my videos, like my videos, make comments. All of these things help me to keep making content while still prioritizing and looking after my health. So thank you very, very much. The other thing I'm working on this year is to not minimize, squash down, mask, or push away my anxiety. Now, this might sound strange considering, and especially if you've followed me all these years, because you know I'm somebody that's always been about feel the fear and do it anyway, act as if, look like I'm not anxious. But this last year, working with a counsellor, I've had a bit of a epiphany around realising that the way I've been dealing with my anxiety does not serve me. It's very inauthentic. It's making me feel very inauthentic. And also, I've become very acutely aware that years and years and years of living with this huge anxiety that I have every single day and pushing through it because I thought that was the best thing to do has played a huge part in my chronic illness. you know, that kind of constant fight or flight mode that I'm in has likely played a huge part in breaking my nervous system and making me a prime target for MECFS and POTS. And working with this counsellor this year, I'm looking at a very different way to view my anxiety and manage it. Now, this is something that I know I've mentioned before, and I need to talk to you about it, and I want to talk to you about it, but it's something I'm still working through and making sense of at the moment. I have so much to say on it, and there's going to be 10 ton of videos about it, but I'm not yet quite ready. This is also part of my wintering process. I'm preparing for what's to come, and when I'm ready, I promise you I'll tell you, because I want to share it. It's just I'm not quite there yet, but when I am, you'll be the first to know, I promise. As well as this, there are lots of exciting things this year, I believe. We are loving our new flat here in Paynton. It's just made everything so much better. Not having stairs to climb, to go up to the toilet, to go to bed is just saving me so much energy. Being able to go straight over the road to a support group once a week, it's literally over the road, takes me 2 minutes. Being able to roll into Paynton Town Centre takes me 20 minutes. I don't even have to get on a bus if it's nice weather. Being able to take this one straight to the seafront, it's just amazing. It's just been the best decision ever. It really, really has. We're getting prepared to decorate this place once the sun comes out, once the spring hits and it's warm enough to decorate, and we can have all the windows and doors open and dry it all. You know, there's so much exciting stuff coming this year, and I've got a lot to look forward to and a lot to share with you all, and I'm very, very excited. So yes, I'm really, really grateful to have you all on this journey with me, and I'm so excited to share what 2025 brings with you all. So thank you all for following along for the last few years, if you followed along, and if you're new to the journey with me, I'm really excited for you to join in and journey with whatever is to come next. And as you can see, Captain Pip is equally as excited. And what about you, lovely people? What are your intentions for the year ahead? And how do you approach the quieter seasons in your life? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic, so please do leave your comments in the section below. I'd love to read them. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.